Okay. So we've got your house. So let's talk about the words that go into a house. So what's one room? What one type of room in a house? The type you spend the most in?
Bedroom.
Bedroom. So bedroom in Japanese is shinshitsu. Shinshitsu. And shinshitsu means sleeping room. Okay? Yeah. So, living room in Japan is this thing recording? Living room in Japan is living room. Oh. Living room. Imagine that. It's also called an ima. Ima, which is like the central room. Ima. Okay? But usually it's called the more modern living room. Ethan, what's another room in a house?
Kitchen.
Kitchen. So a kitchen in Japanese is called daidokoro. Daidokoro. Okay? What's another room in a house? Bathroom. We know that one already. That's right, it's toilet. Someone's asking a question. What is the question asking? Bedroom. Yes, we got that already. Okay. We got a bedroom. So one more is the bathroom. So the room with the bath. Because in Japan, the room with the bath is separate than the toilet room. Okay? And that is called furoba. Furoba. Okay, and so we've got some various other rooms as well. You can see here, number 3, we've got a veranda, which is very important to Japanese. Why do you think a veranda is very important to Japanese? I told you before, they don't have drying machines to hang clothes. So the veranda, every Japanese apartment or house has a veranda. Okay, has a place where you can walk out to. Okay, and it's because they dry clothing on their veranda. And we're saying like even the smallest studio apartment will have a veranda. Okay, because they don't have drying machines. Okay. It's just too bulky. If you know anything about fixing, if you ever had to fix a drying machine or something like that, number one, you have to have a vent system that will vent out the air, the hot air that the drying machine makes. They just don't have the infrastructure for that. They usually build stuff in solid concrete, and they're not going to drill through it just to make a vent. And then number two is you also have to drain all the moisture from the dryer, because that moisture gets kind of blown off of, and it drains off of the cloth. And so you have to have somewhere where that water will go, and again, they don't have the infrastructure for that. A washing machine is infinitely more easy, because all you're doing is taking water in and out. right? You don't have to worry about hot air. Okay? So, then we've got stairs. And stairs are kaidan. Kaidan. We've got living room. We've got daidokoro. We've got furoba. Okay, Japanese also have a Japanese room. Okay, I know you don't have that. Okay, which is called a washitsu. And a washitsu, if you look it up, has three things. Number one, it has tatami mats. So tatami mats are about 2 by 6 feet. They're woven straw, and they're very cool. The air goes through them. And so number two, they usually have some type of low table that you sit on the floor at in the middle. Number three, they usually have what's called a tokonoma, and the tokonoma is where you hang some kind of calligraphy, or you put up a sword, or you do something like that. And it's a very kind of Japanese-ish type of display area. I don't know how to describe it. Also, Japanese rooms are measured in tatami mats. They're not measured in feet. So you can have what's called a 4.5, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and then half like right here. And then there's a 6, where it's like 1, 2, 3, and there's 6 mats. So they measure everything in mats. And it's really kind of cool when you have to replace them. One of mine got mildewed when I was living in Kyoto. We replaced it. When they're usually yellow, but when you replace them, they're green because they're newly grown. Okay? So we got the entry, or the mud room, I guess would be the closest, and that's called genkan. Again, Japanese are very strict about dosoku, or going into a house with bare feet, or going into a house with shoes. So even the school, they will have what's called a gerabako, where the kids will take their shoes off at the entrance of the school, and they will put on slippers. And they'll use slippers all day until they leave the school front area, and then they'll put their shoes back on. And if you have any love letters or chocolates during Valentine's Day or White Day, you put them in, like the guy or girl you like, you put them in their shoebox. Little hint there. Okay, and then the last two is a garage, and that is gareji. Okay, that's a garage. This said gareji. And then the last one is garden, or just basically your yard. Japanese don't have yards like we do. They don't have flat grass. A lot of times they just have like trees, and they have all these different things. And this is called niwa. Niwa. So those are all the parts of a house in Japan. I'm trying to think of something else. Is there any other room in the house that we have? Attic. Yeah, Japanese, they don't really have that. Like a dining room is just a dining room. So it's just like the same word. And usually when you buy a room or buy an apartment or rent an apartment in Japan, they'll list them like this. They'll say 2LDK. This comes with 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 dining room, and a kitchen. So that's usually how they list houses there. Okay, so let's say these together. Shinshitsu, living room, or ima. Daidokoro, トイレ、
トイレ、
風呂場、
風呂場、
ベランダ、
ベランダ、
階段、
階段、
和室、
和室、
玄関、
玄関、
ガレージ、
ガレージ、
庭.
庭。
So your assignment tomorrow is, I want you to write, I want you to draw your house, and I want you to make 6 sentences in Japanese. And I want you to write it, so a complete sentence. So for example, if I were to make a bedroom, here's my bedroom, right? Here's me sleeping. Dreaming about cats, something, right? And one of my sentences, I'm going to describe this, I'm going to put it in the description for the assignment. But, これは, you can write this in Romaji as well. これは寝室です. And then just put an arrow pointing to it, right? So make 6 rooms in your house. You can be as grandiose with your artwork as you want, or as Spartan as you want. Okay? You know what that means, Spartan? You looked intrigued when I said it, though. What do you think Spartan means?
Like, more like.
Very plain. Because the Spartans lived a very plain existence. Yes. So, これは寝室です. And then your bedroom, or sorry, your dining room, or sorry, your kitchen, これは台所です. Right? So this is the last week you have an excuse to write Romaji. From next week, we're going to be writing all in hiragana, because you're going to know all the hiragana, hopefully. Right? The only thing you don't know right now is de. Okay? Everything else you know. So, 頑張ってください. So anyone have any questions?